Well, as Hurricane Sandy approaches the eastern seaboard, the weather not much better here in the Midwest. You can see the rain and the wind battering downtown Cleveland coming in off Lake Erie. Temperatures in the mid-40s, but that wind figures to be a huge factor in this game. Norv Turner bringing his troops from the West Coast, trying to brave the inclement weather. His sixth season, a winning percentage of over 600 at the helm of the Chargers. His counterpart, Pat Shurmur, the young head coach in year 2 here in Cleveland, just 5-18, although this team has been very competitive. Probably should have won in Indianapolis last Sunday if Josh Gordon can hold on to that football. The Cleveland Browns winning the toss. They elect to defer, and so the Chargers will receive. Richard Goodman standing back deep, and Phil Dawson will kick. Rich, you've played in weather like this. It's one thing to have to deal with the rain, but the wind makes it even more miserable, doesn't it?
And Spiro, we talked a little bit about this before kickoff. I mean, from a quarterback's perspective, this is probably the worst you can get. You've got wind, you've got rain coming down, and of course slick balls. I think big completions down the field are be very difficult for both these quarterbacks.
Good kick from Dawson. This is Goodman from 2 yards deep in his own end zone, barely getting to the 20. Tackle made by L.J. Fort. And that is where San Diego will come onto the field, led by that man, Philip Rivers.
Yeah, and he's been through plenty of fires. He's weathered quite a few storms. And one thing you know, he's not going to panic or flinch. What the Chargers really need from Philip Rivers is for him to steady the ship and not turn the ball over here today.
Injured player on the field is the return man, Richard Goodman. Goodman, the kick returner today with the injured Eddie Royal, one of San Diego's key wide receivers, and this is not a good sign. Royal scratched today with a hamstring strain as we take another look.
Need to see him run right up the middle. I don't know if he comes down on the shoulder. Maybe sometimes they land on that ball. That can knock the wind out of you. But as you mentioned, Spiro, not having Eddie Royal, if Richard Goodman were to go down and not return, that really stretches him a little bit at the wide receiver position when you think about they just got 3 after that. It's Meacham, of course, and Floyd, and then they have Alexander, so they'd be kind of thin at wide receiver.
Eric Weddle, really their only other experienced return man. Weddle was slated to return punts if this weather would continue today, as Goodman, the second-year man from Florida State, still being tended to by that Chargers training staff. So just 4 seconds into the game, Goodman looks like he's okay. We'll take a break. Richard Goodman able to walk off on his own power, so finally first play from scrimmage. Rivers to Matthews on 1st and 10, tackle made by James Michael Johnson, the rookie linebacker out of Nevada. We take a look at the starters for the Chargers. Jared Gaither, the tackle, back after missing the last 4 games with a groin strain. Welcome sight for Philip Rivers. Backs and receivers featuring the future Hall of Famer, the tight end Antonio Gates, coming off his best game of the season in that devastating loss to the Broncos 13 days ago. This will be 2nd and 7 from the Chargers 22. Matthews again trying to get to the outside. Out past the 25, appears to be a couple of yards short. Once again, James Michael Johnson on the tackle. There is Goodman being carted into the San Diego locker room. We're told if he is unable to return, it would be Chris Carr returning kicks for the rest of the day. So we'll get a quick update on Goodman as fast as we can. The rain continues to come down here. They spotted about the 28-yard line, a 3rd and 1, as Ronnie Brown lines up as the lone setback. Brown has it and more, bowling his way out past the 30 and just running roughshod over the 3rd-year cornerback Joe Hayden for a pickup of 5. Starting defense for Cleveland, John Hughes, the rookie, making the start for Tava Rubin, who is down again, still nursing that calf strain. Linebacking core for Cleveland, James Michael Johnson, already a couple of tackles. He now is the permanent longtime replacement for Scott Fujita, placed on IR this week. And a secondary headlined by Sheldon Brown, the wily veteran, starting his 168th consecutive game today. 1st and 10. This is Matthews. Not much room to maneuver. Picks up about 2, maybe 3. Michael Johnson and Frosty Rucker on the stop.
And I really think you think about Norv Turner and what the challenge is for him with a team that's lost 3 of their last 4. I think it's really reining back in the quarterback, getting him comfortable once again. How do you do that? I think you do that by cleaning up the pass protection, and the other thing you do is you crank up the running game. That's got to be the key, particularly with the weather being what it is today. They've got to be able to feature Ryan Matthews behind that offensive line.
2nd and 7 from the 36. Rivers, it's caught. Malcolm Floyd with the first down. And Floyd dancing into Cleveland territory. They'll spot it right at midfield for a pass play of 14 yards.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more in-breaking routes today because of the numbers, because of the weather. You're going to work inside the numbers as opposed to outside the numbers. Those throws are a lot easier for the quarterback when the receiver is coming back to the quarterback as opposed to away from the quarterback. Talked to Phillip Rivers last night. He's not so much concerned about the rain as he is the wind. He thinks that's going to make it very difficult in the passing game.
See what Malcolm Floyd has done. Floyd has had success against Sheldon Brown, going back to Brown's days with the Eagles. This is 1st and 10. Matthews dances inside the 40. Taking on tacklers. Usama Young finally brings him down, but not before Matthews runs for 11.
Yeah, and they have to be able to get movement inside in the running game and really take advantage of the matchups. Cleveland is without 2 of their starting defensive tackles, Ataba Rubin, Phil Taylor, and in their place, they start the 2 rookies, Wynn and Hughes, and so I think that's a matchup the Chargers have to exploit, running inside between the tackles.
Well, Ryan Matthews, the heir apparent to LaDainian Tomlinson, they took him 12th overall back in 2010, has had to endure an awful lot so far this season. This is 1st and 10. Matthews already over 20 yards on the ground so far. Matthews broke his clavicle on the first carry of the preseason. Just days before that, Richie was involved in that car accident, missed the first 2 games of the year. It's been a rough season so far for him.
Yeah, it has. And I mean, he was a Pro Bowler a year ago. I think he struggled staying healthy, and that hurt his production. The other thing is when you're not practicing, you know, you've got to be able to practice to be productive in this offense.
Matthews stays on the field. LeRon McClain, a 6-year man, longtime Baltimore Raven, on for the first time on 2nd and 8. Matthews inches towards the 30, picks up 5 yards. Emmanuel Stevens, the 2nd-year man from Mississippi, on the tackle. This will be 3rd and 3. We'll see what Norv Turner comes up with here.
Yeah, 7 runs and just 1 pass. You talk about how the weather affects the game plan. I'm sure that Phillip Rivers and Norv Turner sat down this morning and really scaled back the plan. Talked about the changes in the passing game. What throws Phillip likes with the weather. You know, what can the receivers do? How slippery is the grass, the surface, outside the numbers? All those things Norv has to factor in before he dials up the next call.
9th play of the drive for the Chargers. This is 3rd and 3. Draw play to Brown. And Ronnie Brown going nowhere. James Michael Johnson, very active defensively. Needed to get to about the 29-yard line. We'll see where they spot it here. And they say 4th and 1 as Brown comes up short.
And I'm not surprised to see Norv go for it. They've got a good drive going. They've got good field position here. And again, this is a team that has lost 3 of their last 4. I mean, they're struggling. And they, as they said last night, they needed a win. It's been almost a month since they've had a win.
Jackie Battle comes in for the first time, lines up in the I formation behind McClain. They go right up the gut, and they don't get it. John Hughes, the defensive tackle, makes the first contact. So Norv elects to roll the dice, really no choice with the weather here to kick from that distance, and the Cleveland defensive front holds its ground. That rain and wind continues to batter these fans here as Brandon Weeden comes onto the field for the first time after the turnover on downs. This is 1st and 10. Trent Richardson, playing with the bruised rib cartilage, picks up 3 yards. Tackle made by Takeo Spikes. Rich would take us back to that 4th down play.
Yeah, keep an eye on the end man on the line of scrimmage. He has to be able to block the safety simply coming down and scoop block, and he doesn't. He's laid out of his stance. We're talking about Gates, a Pro Bowler. And you can't turn TJ Ward loose on the back in the hole.
This is 2nd and 7. Richardson, they go play action. They air it out to the sideline. It is complete. Alex Smith, the 8th-year tight end on the catch, but a minimal gain of just 1 yard. Brandon Weeden, the 29-year-old rookie, onto the field.
Yeah, I think we're seeing steady progress from him, Spiro. I think you're seeing the guys playing faster. He's working quicker through his progressions. And most importantly, I think you're seeing a guy who's cut down on the mistakes since week 1.
This will be a 3rd and 6 play. Chris Ogbonnaya, the 3rd down, back onto the field as Weeden works from the gun. Weeden nowhere to throw, trying to slide to the 1st down marker. He's a couple of yards short. Penalty marker on the field. Tackle made by Donald Butler, the linebacker, as Weeden runs for 4.
Holding. Defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty after the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
That's Quentin Jammer on the penalty.
Yeah, he's just going to grab a hold of Josh Gordon. You can't do that. And, you know, you look at San Diego defensively, they've got 2 veteran corners in Quentin Jammer and Antoine Cason. And both of these players have to perform better. They're struggling the last couple of weeks, giving up big plays. Techniques and fundamentals, they've got to clean that up.
1st and 10. Richardson already looking so much better than he did last week. A game in which he was limited to just the first half, had 8 rushes before he was shut down by Pat Shurmur. Tackle made by Vaughn Martin and Atari Bigby. Up front, starters for Cleveland. Mitchell Schwartz, the rookie, has started all 8 games and has yet to miss a snap. The 23-year-old out of Cal. Backs and receivers for the Browns. Alex Smith, their usual number 3 tight end today, making the start at the fullback position as they look to change things up a bit offensively. This is 2nd and 2. As Richardson inches inside San Diego territory to set up a 3rd and short. Defensive starters for the Chargers. Abreu Franklin, the 10-year man out of Tennessee, starts in the middle. Excellent linebacking core for the Chargers. Takeo Spikes, one of the wonders of the NFL. Year 15, he's 35 years of age, and in his 2nd season with the Chargers. Back end features Atari Bigby, headlining that secondary. Bigby, the strong safety, and one of their free agent acquisitions is the Chargers' leading tackler with 49 coming into today. This is 3rd and 1. Richardson turns the corner, has the 1st down, taking on a tackle and sliding underneath that bench on the Cleveland sideline. He goes for 11 and a Cleveland 1st down.
Well, they want to get him out on the perimeter. You can see they load up the left side of that formation. You'll see the tight ends blocked down. They pull the guard and center. And you want to get Trent Richardson. This guy's a big, strong back. And as we talked about, he seems to get stronger as the game goes on.
Richardson, the 3rd overall pick out of Alabama. Comes in 23rd in the NFL in rushing, but is yet to be healthy so far this season. 1st and 10, Weeden goes play action. Airs it out, he's got a man. It's incomplete. Boy, Watson had a step, maybe even 2, but Weeden's throw too strong.
Well, you've got to be able to make that throw, and you've got him out wide open. He actually could have given him a little bit more time. The play action gets it done. Look at the safety drive, and that's the matchup you want. Benjamin Watson on the linebacker, Jarrett Johnson. And just take a little bit off of that. Well, you got to give him a ball he can catch.
Now, Rich, you talked about the difficulty not only playing in the rain, but also the wind. It's kind of died a little bit over the last couple of minutes, but that's a throw Weeden should have made. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Weeden's pass deflected, so a 3rd and long coming up with 5:33 to play in this 1st quarter. We head to New York in an update with James Brown.
Pittsburgh with a key pass play that sets this up, Shannon.
Yes, Ben Roethlisberger in those uniforms, 1 yard, 4th and goal. Leonard Pope, early, 7-0 Steelers.
Did you say, Shannon, those uniforms? Spiro, hey, would Rich Gannon wear that uniform?
No.
Absolutely. They look like bumblebees.
This is 3rd and 10. Chris Ogbonnaya again on the field on 3rd down. Weeden has time. Off balance throw from his back foot. He's got Ogbonnaya. Browns needed to get to about the 27. Tackle made by Jammer. They go for 10.
Well, this is really progress if you look at Brandon Weeden, just understanding where everybody is in the progression. I mean, he doesn't even feel the back. He's looking up all of a sudden right to look at his eyes. He doesn't even look at the back. And that's just great understanding of not only the concept, but the progressions and where everybody's going to be at any given time.
This one right at the first down marker.
I've been impressed, Spiro, as I've watched Brandon Weeden. You know, it's not easy. When you start evaluating the quarterback, I think you have to evaluate what's going on around them. They're very young and inexperienced at the wide receiver position. And I think that, you know, you look at that group, their top 4 wide receivers from a production standpoint are 3 rookies and a second-year player. And so when you look at that, you look at the fact he's got a rookie behind him at running back, a rookie at right tackle, Mitchell Schwartz. I think you got to be able to look at all that and say, where is the progression with this guy? I think we're seeing steady progress because he's going through his progressions quicker, more efficiently. He's seeing the field better, and he's playing faster.
Oh, the Browns are short here, 4th and inches, so both teams faced with, you know, pretty much the same decision, same side of the field. Norv Turner elected to go for it, and in this kind of weather, really, you know, the decision is made for the coach, and Shermer's going to roll the dice.
Yeah, this is an area where they've struggled in short yardage and goal line situations. They converted just 6 of their 15 opportunities where it's been 2 yards or less for a first down or a touchdown. So good short yardage and goal line teams, they can run the ball internally.
So Brandon Weeden, and this offense, 4th and inches from just outside the 27. Weeden lunges for it. Looks as though he's got it. They pick up 2 yards, and it will be 1st and 10.
And the other thing is when you got a quarterback that's 6'3", 225 pounds, and you've got a Pro Bowl center in Alex Mack, that's not a bad place to run either.
Alex Mack, the Pro Bowler in 2010, has yet to miss a snap in his 4+ years in the NFL.
Tough guy. You know, I remember doing a game a couple of years ago. He had an appendectomy right after the game. He wasn't feeling well on Friday night, and he found a way to kind of push himself through it.
Max from Santa Barbara, he had to get used to this weather in Cleveland. Weeden goes play action on 1st and 10, throwing end zone. Incomplete, trying to find the rookie Gordon. And Gordon had a week to let that marinate, that dropped short touchdown last week that probably would have won the game in Indianapolis.
You know, as I've studied some of these receivers here in Cleveland, one of them being Josh Gordon, they don't give the quarterback a lot of room on the boundary. And he allows a veteran corner like Antoine Kasem to push him to the sideline. He's got to be able to get skinny, to jump back up inside, to change lanes, to give Brandon Weeden more room on the boundary.
This will be the 12th play of the drive. Phillip Rivers trying to stay dry. 2nd and 10, Richardson making the first, second guy miss, and his own teammates keep him up. Richardson into the end zone. It was Sean Lavelle who basically kept him on his feet and gave him the escort into the end zone. 26 yards in Cleveland with a 6-0 lead.
Well, he's got a very good feel for the inside run game, and he doesn't stop his feet with initial contact. He's so well built to run between the tackles. He's a type of back that you've got to gang tackle. You can't try and tackle him up high.
Well, watching him play last week, you knew almost immediately that Richardson just wasn't healthy enough to play. But a different story so far today, playing with that bruised rib cartilage. Phil Dawson on for the point after. And San Diego out in front of the Chargers 7-0. 12 plays, 70 yards, and 4:35 as Trent Richardson punches it in from 26 yards out.
Not very complicated what Cleveland's trying to do here. They're trying to lead with the fullback, Alex, and then, of course, get Trent Richardson. Watch the safety, though, with Tariq Bigby. He takes a good angle, but just misses an open field tackle. When you got a guy like Trent Richardson coming through the line of scrimmage, you got to find a way not only to have good pursuit angles, but get him down low. And the more you try and tackle a big, strong back like that up top, he's just going to run right through the tackle.
Richardson lamenting the fact that he hasn't been healthy yet. Mentioned that knee scope that he underwent in early August. Missed the entire preseason. As Chris Carr on in relief of Richard Goodman, who left the game with a hamstring strain. So Carr now their kick return man. Brings it back 11 as now some extracurriculars after the tackle. Officials quickly separating the players involved. Cleveland 7, Chargers nothing. Rivers back onto the field next. It continues to come down now a bit harder as Phillip Rivers onto the field. 1st and 10. He goes play action. Rivers, not the most mobile quarterback, but hits his man on the run. It's caught. They'll mark it at the 23-yard line. Robert Meacham with a pickup of 6.
You know, sometimes you watch Phillip Rivers and Meacham is open a lot earlier in this progression. He's just late getting to him. I don't know if he gets both feet down.
Well, it didn't look like it from that vantage point. Coverage by Usama Young.
Yeah, better throw here, probably gets it done if he can stop him on the boundary, but he had Meacham much earlier, but his eyes were downfield trying to look at Floyd.
And Pat Shurmur, looking at the replay, finally throws the challenge flag onto the field. And at least at first glance, this one appears to be coming back.
Cleveland is challenging the rule on the field of a completed catch.
So 3:50 to play in this first quarter. They'll take another look at what is, at least for the moment, a 6-yard hookup between Rivers and Meacham. Stay with us. Play still under review. Rivers to Robert Meacham for 6. Did he get his second foot inbounds? There's the catch. Now, Richard, only seems to be 1 foot from that vantage point. Here's the call.
After reviewing the play, it's an incomplete pass. The receiver's foot, you only got 1 foot down inbounds prior to stepping out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 4:06.
Yeah, he's trying to tap the back foot in, but he starts tapping it before he actually catches the ball, and you can see it in that left hand of his. But again, that's a question of, Phillip Rivers, I think, at times trying to make the big play down the field. That ball should have been thrown much earlier in the progression, and when you're late, that's what happens. The receiver runs out of room on the sidelines.
Now, Rivers and the Chargers now suddenly down to 3 wide receivers today that are healthy and have any kind of real experience. Eddie Royal is scratched with a hamstring strain, and Richard Goodman, one of their backup wideouts and kick return man, going down with a hamstring strain on the opening kick and will not return. This is 2nd and 10. Rivers under pressure. TJ Ward on the blitz. They find Matthews out of the backfield. Excellent play by Rivers as Matthews picks up 6. Tackle made by Usama Young. I'll get the latest news, analysis, and predictions from Pat Kerwin, Pete Prisco, and other CBS sports experts. Watch Pro Football 360 live weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern or on demand at cbssports.com/profootball360. Chargers had a nice opening drive that eventually stalled in Cleveland territory on a 4th down play. This is 3rd and 4 from the 24. Rivers to Brown. Brown needing to get to the 28, not even close.
So a really nice job by that Cleveland defense, and you've got to be able to stop the screen games and all the different things they try and do to get the ball to the backs in space. It's just a good effort here by that defensive line. You see Hughes out in front, giving the rest of the group, the linebackers and safeties, a chance to rally for the tackle.
Mike Cyphers on to kick, the 10th-year veteran, 4th in the league in both gross and net punting average at 49 and 42 respectively. This is Cribbs from his own 28. $49-yard punt and a return of only 7. Brandon Weeden onto the field when we come back, a 7-0 lead for the Young Browns. Are we heading towards a recovery or a recession? Answers from a swing state, plus the NFL team owner with a unique American success story on 60 Minutes, only CBS. Spiro Dedes, Rich Gannon, our entire CBS crew with you from Cleveland. Nasty weather coming in off Lake Erie. And so far, the Browns, a young football team, just 1-6, out in front of the Chargers, 7-0. Wheaton on 1st and 10 finds Cribbs. Rare catch for Cribbs out past the 40. Eric Weddle, the Pro Bowl safety on the tackle. Pickup of 7. Now, we knew in this kind of weather, Rich, that Cleveland would want to pound it. Trent Richardson so far nearly 50 yards on the ground as you see the numbers so far.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise. I mean, you look at Cleveland, 30th in rushing coming into today's game, just 79 yards a game on the ground, only averaging 3.4 carries. There's a reason why they traded up one spot to select Trent Richardson with a 3rd overall pick.
This is Richardson on 2nd and 3 to Keo Spikes. Able to get there first. Richardson with a pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd and short.
Well, you can't question this guy's toughness. Last week, he had just the 8 yards on 8 carries in the first half because of that rib injury. They gave him an injection. I'm sure he got another injection before this game to even play. And that shows you how important it is to him. This guy, he wants to play every game. He wants every carry. He wants to be out there with his teammates. And I think, you feel the pressure. You're a high draft pick, a team that has struggled a little bit. I think it's absolutely critical for the Browns to be able to run the football. They're so young at wide receiver, at quarterback. He has to be the bell cow. He needs 25 and 30 carries, particularly in a type of game like this with the weather being such a huge factor.
Well, Shermer went for it on 4th down earlier, not at this level of the field, so they'll bring out the punter, Reggie Hodges. Hodges from his own 33. Eric Weddle fielding at his own 25. Weddle scurrying out past the 35. A return of 12 after a punt of just 31 yards. Tackle made by Kaluka Mayava as Phillip Rivers and company back onto the field. So this San Diego team, Rich, 3-3 during the bye week. You'd like to go in with a win, but not only did they not win, but they had to let that sit in their minds. The 2 very disheartening losses. They blow a 24-0 lead, and then the week prior losing in New Orleans after being up 10 in the second half.
Yeah, not a great 13 days for this football team. They're anxious to play today and anxious to get back on the practice field this week. And look, they've got to realize they're 3-3. Tiebreakers aside, they're still right there in the thick of things in the AFC West.
1st and 10. Matthews puts it on the ground. It's recovered by Cleveland. Billy Wynn, the rookie, able to recover. And Matthews dejectedly walks off the field. James Michael Johnson, the man who jarred loose.
Well, this has been a problem with Ryan Matthews, ball security, and you just got to be able to keep that ball high and tight. And that gets knocked out. Clearly, that's on the ground, and just a really alert play there by the rookie, Billy Wynn. You see that's coming out. You see they're just trying to strip it. Cleveland's talked all week about Ryan Matthews. And now you've got to see whether or not Wynn was in bounds when he recovers this football. I think he's got possession, and then he slides out of bounds. I think that's going to stick. I think Cleveland's going to get the ball in great field position here.
Play is under review. How about Billy Wynn getting out there? 6'4", nearly 300 pounds. Going spread eagle for the football.
When you think about how young this football team is, Spiro, I think they got 15 or 16 rookies on the roster. And not only are they on the roster, but they're getting a lot of playing time, really on both sides of the ball. We talked about the 4 rookie starters on offense. They've got 2 rookies starting along the defensive line. And I think with that, there's going to be growing pains, but these guys love playing. You can just see their effort, their passion, the energy which they play with. And I think he's in bounds. I think he's got possession of that before that left or that right hand hits the sidelines.
Well, every turnover in the NFL under review.
Yeah, I think he's putting that in his left arm, and he's got possession, and the right hand touches the sidelines. I think Jerome Boger is going to award possession of this football to the Cleveland Browns.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a fumble recovery, 1st down, Cleveland.
Well, exactly the kind of start Cleveland was hoping for. Matthews has always had those ball security issues, tied for 2nd most in the NFL.
Yeah, and we've been talking about the problems the Chargers have had with ball security and the turnovers. And look, Cleveland has put that graphic up in their defensive meeting room. Hey, look, we've got a back who's careless with the football. We can get it out if we work on our ball extraction.
Greg Little in motion on 1st and 10. Whedon the pitch to Richardson. Over 50 yards already. Gets down to close to the 40, goes for 6. Tackle made by Butler and Quentin Jammer.
Well, this is what they want to do. I mean, they want to stay in normal down and distance situations, and you do that by having success on the early downs and by running the football. And you look at Pat Shurmur there, who works kind of hand in hand with Brad Childress up in the booth, the offensive coordinator. Those two, of course, a long history together in Philadelphia, working on that staff with Andy Reid. They share a very similar philosophy when it comes to coaching the quarterback and calling plays.
End around, Benjamin couldn't handle the football. It's loose. And Cleveland miraculously will recover, but they lose a boatload of yardage. Josh Cribbs, the man who tried to pitch it to him, as they lose 20 to close that first quarter. So a disastrous play nearly was much worse. Cleveland will have it when we come back to start the second. Back in Cleveland, Browns 7-0 lead to start the second quarter. 3rd and 24, just trying to get back any kind of yardage after that nightmare play in which they lost 20 yards. Rich, the decision with just a couple of seconds left to even go for it and force a play there at the end of the first quarter, they lose 20.
Yeah, far be it from me, a former quarterback, to question play calling. But look, you got a 2nd and 4. These are the type of plays you have to take out of the game plan. You've got 2 players that aren't even starters in Josh Cribbs and Travis Benjamin, and you're trying a special reverse play like that. With the weather the way it is, I thought that was a poor decision by the Cleveland staff.
Yeah, that's one I'm guessing that Pat Shurmur and Brad Childress will want back. As Reggie Hodges boots one away, had just a 31-yarder on his first kick. You saw that one take a twist there as the rain and wind continue to pound this field. A 34-yard kick as Weddle lunges for it and fields at his own 27. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Well, we hope everyone's safe wherever you are, certainly on the East Coast as Hurricane Sandy approaches the eastern seaboard. Weather here nasty to say the least, as Phillip Rivers and company down 7, 1st and 10 from their own 27. Rivers set, and that's what you call a coverage sack. Billy Wynn finally able to get to him. First sack of the day for the Browns.
And how about the day Billy Wynn is having? He recovers a fumble on the previous series. Now he's able to come off of a block inside. He's working across the center and the guard, and he just keeps pushing, and Phillip Rivers happens to step right back up into him. No one able to get open versus all the man-to-man coverage. Phillip's not going to make a lot of plays, Spiro, with his legs.
2nd and 16 from the 21. This is Matthews. Matthews going nowhere. You know, Rich, you watched the film, and you mentioned it during the week. You know, if you can get around Rivers' body, just doesn't seem to be as stable and comfortable in the pocket as he's been in the past.
Yeah, he's not great when things break down around him, and I think that, you know, you look at the protection's not great. He's not going to be able to create a lot on his own. That's not a strength of his game. He's not going to be able to extend a lot of plays with his legs. The protection has to be good. The receiver's got to do the right thing, and that's been another thing that's troublesome to him, I think. You've got Eddie Royals not playing today. Robert Meacham, two receivers that he's still trying to get a feel for.
3rd and 16. Rivers airing it out. It is incomplete, broken up. Denario Alexander, a man they just signed this week, was the intended recipient, Usama Young, on the coverage.
Well, Phillip Rivers knows better than this. This is a poor decision, and that's enough to make North Turner sick. I mean, just because a shot play is called doesn't mean you have to throw it. And this is just Phillip Rivers just throwing one up, hoping that he can fit it in between double coverage. I mean, you've got the corner there. You've got Usama Young coming over the top. There's no way he's going to be able to fit that one in to Denario Alexander.
Alexander signed this week, taking the roster spot of Nate Kading, who was released. Terrible kick. This is a shank off the foot of Cyphers. Bounces into Cleveland territory. They'll mark it down at the 45 after a punt of just 34 yards in very inclement weather here in Cleveland. Well, Norv Turner has certainly seen better days. Not the start he was hoping for here. After the bye week, he's down 7-0 early stages of the second quarter. And now Brandon Wheaton and company back onto the field. This will be 1st and 10. Wheaton, little screen for the rookie Gordon. Gordon taking on tacklers at the 50. You know, the Chargers, a team in turmoil. Not only did they blow 2 double-digit leads in the second half of each of the last 2, but also their general manager, A.J. Smith, calling his team onto the carpet saying, quote, "We have some outstanding talented players on this team and some coaches across the board, but obviously we can't play as a team. We appear to not to be able to handle adversity or finish games. Individual and team confidence appears to be going south."
Very surprised that he chose to say those things, and I can promise you that those sentiments aren't shared by these coaches and players. I mean, I think that this is a group, they're 3-3, they've been in this position before, they've been able to rally, come back and win the division. And I just think that was kind of an overreaction on the part of A.J. Smith.
Encroachment. Defense, number 92. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's Vaughn Martin, the 4th-year defensive tackle, whistled for the penalty.
Yeah, good job with the hard count by the young quarterback. And I'm just getting back to paying off A.J.'s comments, Spiro. I just think that now, all of a sudden, every time they step in a production meeting, they've got to answer those questions. Norv's got to talk about it. I just think it's a distraction that this football team didn't need.
This is 1st and 10. Mark it at the 45. Minimal gain for Montario Hardesty. Takeo spikes on the tackle. You know, usually, when a guy goes into a bye week, they say, you just want to keep getting at it. We asked Philip Rivers, and he said, boy, the bye couldn't come fast enough. He just wanted to get away from it. And speaking of Rivers, Rich, a lot of people felt like, maybe Rivers should have stepped up to the podium, taken more responsibility for what happened in that Denver game.
Well, look, a lot of heat came down on Norv Turner and the fact that he was calling the plays, but I think Philip needs to step up to the podium after the game and just basically say, hey, look, you can put all the blame you want on the play callers. My job as the quarterback to make good decisions. And I have other choices. I have other tools in my toolbox. I can throw the ball away. I can check it down to the back. I don't need to throw the ball late down the middle. Those are the things that have really hurt Philip Rivers. And as I said, he's just too good of a player. He needs to cut down on the negative plays. 25 turnovers from him last year, 20 interceptions and 5 fumbles. This year, he's got 10 interceptions and 3 fumbles. And they're not good enough right now to be able to overcome the mistakes at that position.
3rd and 7 from the 42. Wheaton from the gun, flushed out of the pocket, incomplete through the hands of Chris Ogbonnaya. And so the Chargers will get it back.
Well, Ogbonnaya got excited. They had a screen called. He had some linemen out in front of him, and he just a little quick with his eyes. He's just anxious to turn back upfield and start making some yardage, and you got to secure the catch first.
Well, here's Hodges, 44 punts on the season, only 1 touchback. He's placed 12 of them inside the 20. Fair catch signaled by Weddle. Takes a bounce inside the 15-yard line. And that's where Philip Rivers and company will take over when we come back. Hodges places it inside the 20 with a 30-yard punt. Oh, you can't question these fans' loyalty in Cleveland, braving the elements here. Ryan Matthews on 1st and 10. Gets close to the 20. Tackle made by Joe Hayden. So the San Diego Chargers, off a bye week. A lot of their fans probably thought, Rich, they'd come to Cleveland, get healthy, but so far they've struggled.
Yeah, you look at that, and they started out looking pretty good there. They ran the ball 9 times on that first drive, and yet weren't able to convert a first down on a 4th and 1. And since then, they've kind of struggled to find their rhythm a little bit here offensively.
Matthews so far 41 yards on the ground. This is 2nd and 3. Matthews again had a fumble earlier in the half. Tackle made by Mayava as Matthews picks up 6. I'll get coverage of every NFL game with NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL. That's 635 to download NFL Mobile or visit NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Matthews will stay on the field. This will be 1st and 10. Clock continues to run. 9 and change left in the second. Matthews trying to put his foot into the ground to cut. Kind of stumbled a bit, picks up only a yard. Tackled by T.J. Ward.
You know, one of the things as you get a look at Philip Rivers' numbers here and Brandon Weed, and I think one of the things with Philip Rivers is that I get the sense he's got this attitude and this mentality that he not only can, but he has to carry this team. And that if he doesn't get it done, nobody will. And that's a lot of these great quarterbacks have that mindset, but he's got to realize what he has around him. And he's got to, I think that will help him in times where they're pressing a little bit. And right now, you can see this offense struggling a little bit in the passing game.
Rivers on 2nd and 9, trying to throw across his body. James Michael Johnson on the pressure, and he has been all over the field so far. As Rivers unable to find Malcolm Floyd, it'll be 3rd and 9.
One of the things that Philip Rivers has struggled with in the past is pressure. You know, he doesn't move well off the spot, and again, he's the one guy I think he's most comfortable with is Malcolm Floyd. Protection up front, particularly at the tackle positions. Clary, the right tackle, has struggled some. Getting Gaither back on the left side should help.
3rd and 9 from the 26. Rivers finds Brown. Brown has the first down. Spins his way up towards the 36 after a pickup of 11.
Well, this is a really nice job by Philip Rivers, sliding up, trusting the protection, and then finding his back, Ronnie Brown. And that's the one thing Philip Rivers has always done well. He knows where those backs are in the progression, whether they're running a burst or a check down or a flat, and he knows how to get those guys the ball in the open field.
First and 10, they mark it at the 37. Rivers goes play action, faking to Matthews. Deep down the field, trying to find Floyd, nearly intercepted. Ward actually came down with it off the deflection, but he was out of bounds. Usama Young had it go right between the 2 and 8 on his jersey.
Right, you know, you got to take some shots, but this is such a hard throw. We talk about the rain, you talk about the weather, and you're thrown into double coverage, and this is tough. You know, you've got Young over the top, you've got another safety there in T.J. Ward. And even when you think you throw a good ball, Spiro, that wind has a chance to knock it down some. Makes it very difficult, not only the quarterback, but the receivers to be able to come back and adjust.
Randy McMichael in motion. This is 2nd and 10. Matthews. Chargers needing to get to the 47 for the first down. They pick up only 3 there.
Well, I think you look where the production is in the passing game, and you know, we did some study and research, and this is a little bit surprising. You think about Philip Rivers, and I think you see right there at the top, missing Vincent Jackson, 31st in terms of NFL rank where the catches and yards are, but look where the running backs are. You think about how he likes to feature Ryan Matthews and Ronnie Brown and Jackie Battle. And I think it's a good matchup today when you look at how young and inexperienced the Browns are at linebacker on the outside with Maeva and James Michael Johnson.
Ronnie Brown split at the bottom of your picture. This is 3rd and 7. Rivers hit as he throws. It's incomplete. T.J. Ward right up the gut. Got his money's worth on Rivers.
Well, internal pressure, and that's been the plan so far from Dick Duran. You're going to see him bring the safety right up in the middle there. He's unblocked. Nice job by Philip Rivers sitting in there with a tough jaw. He's waiting on the crossing route. It just doesn't get there soon enough.
So Mike Cyphers on for his 3rd punt of the day. Josh Cribbs standing at his own 15. It's blocked, and despite that, takes an awfully good bounce for the Chargers. Some laundry on the field. strange play. Cypher's barely able to get it off, but the momentum of that kick takes it just about as far as it would have gone had he gotten it off cleanly.
That looked like one of your forearms, brother. That was ugly.
That's actually a compliment for me. I'll take it. Turns out to be a 41-yard kick, a 14-yard return as the officials conference here.
I don't know if that gets blocked or he just hits he takes a little bit of a peek and he just hits this punt. You watch and that ball, and even when he drops the ball, you'll see the ball move a little bit. Actually, I think he hits that low on his foot.
Holding, receiving team. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. Cleveland keeps the ball. Timeout.
So a strange play on the punt as the penalty charged to Cleveland. Holding penalty on Cleveland on the punt return pins the ball at their own 10-yard line. Browns up 7-0 under 7 to play here in this first half. Trent Richardson playing with the flak jacket, protecting that bruised cartilage in his ribs. So now can this Chargers defense hold steady? Get something going. Their defensive coordinator, John Pagano, their third D coordinator in the last 3 years. Brother, of course, of Chuck Pagano, the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, who is suffering from leukemia. John had a chance to fly to Indianapolis and was at his bedside for a little over a day.
They're actually able to watch some tape together, prepare for Cleveland together, which I thought was kind of interesting.
2nd and 10, Whedon rolling out. It's caught. A first down, Jordan Cameron, the second-year tight end, with a pickup of 12.
Well, that's a really nice throw and catch. I like the fact that they're moving Brandon Whedon outside the pocket. We talked about this in the open, changing his launch point. This is a really nice throw. Good coverage there by Spikes, and yet Whedon finds a way to fit this one in.
Pass play sets up a 1st and 10. Greg Little in motion. Browns from their own 22. Whedon fakes the handoff. And a good decision just to throw it out of bounds to make it 2nd and 10. And that is what you like about Whedon. Doesn't force it, Rich. Just throws it out.
Yeah, he moves on. Another good look at John Pagano there, Chuck's brother. You see that Chuck Strong on the top of his play call sheet. And what I thought was interesting is they were off last week, and of course the Colts were preparing for Cleveland, and so they got a chance to actually sit down in this hospital room and watch the film together. They actually went and watched some tape of the Colts practicing and preparing, and so great familiarity. You think that he's had a chance to watch and not only get a chance to watch this team, but also talk to his brother in terms of how they're going to prepare for him as well.
Excellent play by Whedon, rolling out again, finds Gordon. 15 yards and another Cleveland first down.
And I really like this Josh Gordon. He's a guy that only played 12 games of college football, and he's so raw as a route runner, but he's got so much talent. He's a natural hands catcher, and he's a big, strong receiver, the type of receiver that you look for in a West Coast offense. 6'3" and 215 pounds.
There's Richardson on first down. We asked Brad Childress about Josh Gordon. He had a funny story. This time last year, he was getting off a cruise ship, and they told him they had drafted Gordon in the supplemental draft. And Childress said, "Who's Josh Gordon?" At this time last year, he was on the scout team at the collegiate level at Utah. As you take a look at Childress, brought in by Shermer to aid with this offense.
Yeah, really on-the-job training for Josh Gordon. They don't have the time or the personnel to bring him along slowly. That's why he has to play now.
This is 2nd and 11. Richardson dancing through that San Diego defense, taking on a tackler. Well, this is the best Richardson has looked in weeks. 12 more yards as he approaches 70 on the ground.
Well, you talk about very good balance and finishing strength. Just watch at the end of this run. Atari Bigby is going to be sore tomorrow. I mean, he keeps trying to hit him up top. That's not going to work. They're not tackling well right now in the secondary, and that's a problem for the Chargers.
Now, you just can't appreciate how big Richardson is until you stand next to him. This is 1st and 10. Richardson running downhill now. Inside Chargers territory to the 40 after a pickup of 11.
And they're getting good movement up front. You look at their Pro Bowl center, Alec Mack, Greco, the left guard, Sean Laval. Look at that hole. I mean, he's up on the second level before they know what's even hit him.
Well, this is running weather right now. Richardson is season average today approaching 80 already on 13 rushes. This on the pitch play on 1st and 10. Richardson. Now, the one thing he said watching himself on film, first of all, he said he didn't even recognize himself, Rich, in that first half last week in Indy, because he wasn't able to make anyone miss on that first sequence.
Yeah, and he wasn't finishing runs, was something he does such a good job of. And you just worry, he gets that rib injected, how long that shot lasts. We talked to Brad Childress about it on Friday. It usually lasts about 6 hours, so you're always worried about whether it's going to wear off in the second half.
Richardson looking on. Rivers has spent a lot of time on the sideline. As Wheaton under center on 2nd and 6. Whistles blow the play dead.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
John Greco, the 50-year guard on the penalty, starting for Jason Pinkston, whose season is over. Very dangerous situation with blood clots in his lung. Pinkston was able to visit the team, finally released from the hospital this week. Such a welcome sight for his teammates. Richardson, a lone setback on 2nd and 11. Richardson looking for more, gang tackled at the 38. Marcus Gilchrist and Corey Leachett on the stop. 2-minute warning in Cleveland Browns with a 7-0 lead. Final 2 minutes, first half here in Cleveland. Brandon Whedon and the Browns up 7-0 as Phillip Rivers and that once vaunted San Diego offense now going nearly 4 quarters without putting up any points. There's Phil Dawson looking on. This is 3rd and 8. Whedon fakes the handoff under pressure, tripped up just at the release point. And it will be 4th down. Sean Phillips able to get there.
You're going to see them bring the safety on one side and Phillips up the other side, and Brandon Whedon's got to be able to step up, and he can't because they've got internal pressure, and does the next best thing, just throw it away and avoid the sack.
There's Phillips, still among the elite defenders in the NFL, Pro Bowler in 2010. Last year slowed by a foot injury. Eric Weddle back to return. Busy day for Reggie Hodges already. And this one sails into the end zone, not even close. 38-yard punt from Hodges. And Phillip Rivers will come back onto the field from the 20. Down 7 when we come back. Can Phillip Rivers put something together here? $1:48 left in the half. Down 7. This will be 1st and 10 from the 20. Rivers so far just 5 of 10 for 35 yards. San Diego just 84 yards of total offense. Here he finds Brown. He's got some open real estate. Out past the 40, up close to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 25. Chargers with all 3 timeouts.
They just had a lot of success getting the ball to Ronnie Brown. Just a little angle routes and letting him get up on those linebackers.
Rivers on 1st and 10. Slings it towards the sideline. It's caught. Dante Rosario with his first reception. 60-year man out of Oregon.
You're going to see a lot more Dante Rosario today with Eddie Royal being out, so they'll have a personnel group to feature him a little bit in the slot. And that's one of the things as you watch Norv Turner, one of the things I've always admired about him, had the opportunity to have him as my play caller one year in Oakland, is that he just gives you so many different looks, so many different personnel groupings, and it's always been a strength of his as a play caller.
Brown able to get out of bounds so they don't have to burn a timeout. Minute 19 to play. This is 2nd and 4. Again, he goes to Brown. Brown goes right for the marker, gets out of bounds. So minute 13 to play, and San Diego can quickly turn this game here, only down 7.
Yeah, you want to get a score before the half. And I think they've got to get back to playing like they did in the first half of the last 2 games, really on both sides of the ball. They have to remember it hasn't been all that bad. There are plenty of positives. You sit down and we talked to Norv Turner last night. I mean, there's a lot of things to build on. And yet, for whatever reason, it seems like they've been in a funk here most of the first half.
Spot the football at the Browns 44. This is 1st and 10. With a minute 13 left in the second. Rivers. Nice lunging catch. Again finds Rosario. And Norv Turner will take his first time out here with a minute 6 remaining. Now the other thing, Rich, you look at the teams that they have coming up. Very winnable games. They've got Kansas City, who's only 1-5 coming up, and then Tampa Bay. So they can quickly turn this thing around.
Yeah, it's been a sloppy first half, though, when you look at the Chargers. They don't block a safety, T.J. Ward. They put a fumble on the ground from Ryan Matthews, not taking care of the ball. Of course, the sacks have been a huge problem. 18 in 6 games coming into this game. Protection has to be better, and they have struggled up front, particularly at the tackle position. I mentioned getting Jared Gaither back. Norv Turner really felt like this is going to be huge for them. A guy that can anchor the left side, protect Phillip Rivers' backside, and allow him to step up in the pocket more and set his feet.
Mike Harris, the rookie, filled in very admirably for Gaither. He was out 4 games with that groin strain. This is 2nd and 5. Ronnie Brown has been the workhorse on this drive after Ryan Matthews put it on the ground earlier. Brown picks up 7.
And Phillip Rivers is so good in these situations. He understands 2-minute football. He's great at calling plays at the line, directing traffic, protection scheme.
Rivers on 1st and 10. It's caught. Chargers will have to use a timeout here. Malcolm Floyd on the reception, a pickup of 10. San Diego inching closer here to their first points of the afternoon. There's Nick Novak warming up. Well, no one knows the game quite like a quarterback. Don't miss Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, and special guest Gary Danielson on NFL Monday QB tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Adam Shine, the host, as they break down all things NFL. Meantime here, San Diego and Norv Turner, just 1 timeout left, 38 seconds to play before halftime. Chargers being shut out so far. This is 1st and 10.
Incompletion here doesn't hurt Phillip Rivers. He just can't afford to take a sack.
Rivers has time. Finds Gates over the middle. Need to get to about the 12 for the first down. They pick up 6. Chargers with 1 timeout, now down to 23 seconds. Rivers will down it. So 22 seconds left. You can see the blood on Rivers' right elbow.
Well, you look for them to take a shot here on 3rd down in the end zone. And it's one of those situations where if you get the right look and you've got good protection and the right coverage, you pull the trigger. If not, you check it down or you throw it away. This is talking about understanding situational football. You've got to be smart in this situation.
Ronnie Brown lining up again. Rivers from the gun on 3rd and 5. Rivers pass deflected. They catch it on the tip. That's Jeremy Clary, the 6th-year tackle. You can see Rivers telling him just let it fall to the ground as they end up losing yardage.
And that's one of the problems they've had. And Clary has struggled some in pass protection, especially with a speed rusher. I was very interested to see how he's going to hold up today against Jabal Sheard. You just watch him down the bottom of your screen. Sheard's going to push him back, and Rivers is trying to throw that one down. He's trying to tell his right tackle, Clary, just to knock it down.
Now those big linemen, they don't get a chance to catch the football. I mean, his eyes just lit up.
That's right. He's trying to make a big play.
It's Clary's big moment there. So they burn their final timeout. Field goal unit onto the field, Nick Novak. making a third straight start, but today really as the first time as the full-time replacement for Nate Kading. Kading, the Chargers' longtime kicker, released, has been injured for much of the season. This will be a 43-yard attempt from the 50-year man out of Maryland, Nick Novak. Tough weather conditions to kick, but that one looking perfect as San Diego finally gets onto the board as we reach halftime here in Cleveland. Browns with an impressive opening drive. Trent Richardson has been the story for the Browns, 86 yards on the ground. And San Diego, despite very paltry offensive numbers, down only 7-3. We'll be back with the Verizon Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tough football weather here in Cleveland as our halftime score, the Browns 7 and the Chargers 3. And time now for the Droid Razor M-Play presented by Motorola. We expected Trent Richardson to have an impact on this game. Here he punches it in from 26 yards out. Sean Laval nearly gave him a piggyback ride as they punch it in at the lone touchdown of the first half. And that's where we stand. Wind and rain pounding the coastline here in Cleveland, coming in off Lake Erie. As we welcome you back to the NFL on CBS, Spiro Dedes alongside Rich Gannon. You know, considering the rib injury that Trent Richardson has, Pat Shurmur has to be very pleased with what he's gotten from him so far.
Yeah, it looked really sharp in the first half. I mean, you don't see any signs of that being an issue. 15 carries already for 86 yards. And this is against the defense that was pretty good coming in. Second in run defense. So, that was a really strong first half performance by the Browns on the ground. As you look at the stats here in the first half, I mean, just the one turnover, of course, was a factor. But, hey, they've got to find a way, San Diego, to start converting some third downs. That's become a bit of an issue here. Just 2 of 7 on third down, and a little more production on first down wouldn't hurt either.
It was 283 yards of total offense combined in that first half. Richardson's season high on the ground, 109 yards in a Week 2 game in Cincinnati. And he's looking for more here. Browns will have possession to start the second half. Nick Novak on to kick. Josh Cribbs standing back deep in his own end zone. Tough kicking conditions. This one is squibbed right down the center of the field. Cribbs fields from inside his own 10. Cribbs has some room out past the 30, close to the 35. A return of 30. Atari Bigby on the tackle, but a penalty marker on the field.
During the return, holding, return team number 84. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Cleveland keeps the ball. First down.
That's Jordan Cameron on the penalty. As we take a look at the first half possessions for Brandon Weeden and the Browns.
Yeah, you need to eliminate those 3 and outs and 4 straight punts. And we get back to talking about the third down conversions. Cleveland hasn't been that much better. 1 of 6 on third down, and they've had some manageable situations on third down. A lot of 3rd and 2 to 4s that they haven't been able to convert.
This is where things have turned south for the Chargers in each of their last 2 games. 1st and 10, Richardson getting to the 20, picks up a couple. 3, maybe 4 as they give him a favorable spot against him pushing after the whistle. Atari Bigby to Keo Spikes on the tackle. Chargers in their last 2 games have been outscored 52-7 in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
You know, we talked about putting long drives together. That's been a bit of a problem for the Browns. Haven't been great at sustaining drives, converting third downs, and really driving the ball the length of the field.
Weeden on 2nd and 6 gives to Richardson. One thing he's done consistently, Rich, in this game, he's made the first guy and usually the second guy miss.
Yeah, and he's so strong up top, and he does a nice job using that free arm, or it's the left arm with a stiff arm. And, it's hard to get around him. And you just see the power, and not only in his upper body, but his lower body. and he does a nice job running over his pads, and he's got a pretty good offensive line in front of him. That group has done a nice job.
Richardson again playing with the bruised cartilage in his rib cage. Very painful, wearing a very thin Kevlar vest. Trying to protect that rib. 3rd and 2. Whedon completes. Tough throw hit right on the release point. He finds Little for the first down. Takeo Spikes got him from the blind side. Yeah,
and Little was quiet in the first half. And here's a guy that has been kind of up and down. You look at Little, he played a lot of snaps as a rookie. 93% of the snaps as a rookie last year, but he's a guy that he can't lose his focus and his concentration when he doesn't get the ball early. And that's a problem with a lot of these young receivers. You know, they get out there and you think you're open, you're not getting catches, and you get frustrated. It's been the problem, I think, a little bit with Greg Little.
That was Little's first catch of the day, 1st and 10. Whedon's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. Now, Little had been disappearing a bit there over the course of the season, had some struggles. Did have his best game of the season last week in the loss, 6 receptions for 52 yards and a touchdown against the Colts.
Yeah, and Pat Shurmur's been staying on him. You know, he told us in that meeting on Friday, and he told Little this, he said, I don't want to see any more of the nonsense after the whistle or outside the building. And I think his work is taking on a lot more meaning, according to Pat Shurmur, the last couple of weeks. And I think you bring another player in, a guy in the supplemental draft in the 2nd round, and Josh Gordon, you see the success that Gordon has had the last 3 weeks. I think that could be enough to kind of fuel the fire for Greg Little.
This is 2nd and 10. Watson hit right as he caught it. It's incomplete. Nice play by the safety, Eric Weddle, the Pro Bowler. So 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, and one of the problems here is Weddle is playing man-to-man coverage. He's responsible for Benjamin Watson, and so Joe Thomas can't get out there quick enough. And you see Eric Weddle, he's a heady guy. He recognized it right away.
Weddle, the quarterback of this Chargers defense. Got a big contract extension prior to last season, awarded the Chargers with a Pro Bowl campaign. You see Cleveland 2 of 7 today on 3rd downs. This is 3rd and 10. Whedon has time. It's incomplete. Right on the fingertips of Little. And the Browns forced the punt.
Yeah, 6 drops already this season, and that's been kind of the knock on Greg Little. See, nice route here. He comes out of the break. He's got to be able to make that catch. He's got to be able to squeeze it.
Little, Rich mentioned some of his handiwork last year. 2nd most receptions among rookies a year ago, behind only the Bengals' A.J. Green. But that's one he wants back. As Hodges on the punt from his own 20. Weddle backpedaling, Fields at his own 20. Weddle still on his feet. It's a hard hit. Robertson on the contact. 49-yard punt, and Weddle had to work awfully hard for just a 4-yard return. 7-3 your score, early stages, 2nd half here at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Phillip Rivers, first possession in the 2nd half. Ryan Matthews and a fumble in the 1st half if you've just joined us. As the turnover concerns continue for the Chargers, DeQuell Jackson on the tackle. Well, the Chargers started the game well, finished the 1st half well, but not much to write home about in between.
No, they went on a sabbatical there for those 3 or 4 possessions in the middle. And I think the good news is they put a 2-minute drive together and had to settle for a field goal, but I think they still carried some momentum into the locker room to halftime. At least they weren't shut out in the 1st half.
Nick Novak on the 46-yard field goal to close the 1st half to finally give the Chargers 3 points. 2nd and 6. There's Matthews. Brought down at the 30. Rich mentioned the up-tempo kind of speeding things up for Norv Turner. Do you try to implement more of that here?
You know, you might see it. I mean, it worked really well for them right before the half. And, you know, Phillip Rivers is that type of guy who likes to wheel and deal in a kind of an up-tempo style. And I think one of the things, you know, when you're struggling a little bit offensively is that's a nice way to shift gears.
We'll see what Norv does here. 3rd and 4. They mark it at the 30. Ronnie Brown in motion. to the top of your picture. Rivers again felt the contact coming, something he touched on earlier. As these defenses trying to bother Rivers in the pocket, and he's upset with himself.
Well, he is, and this is a tough catch. I think the ball comes out a little hot and a little sideways for Antonio Gates, and as a quarterback, I mean, you can be frustrated, but you've got to be exact with your location on throws when the weather is a factor. When you've got wind, when you've got rain, those are difficult catches for these receivers downfield.
Mike Cyphers to punt. Cribbs standing at his own 25, fourth punt from Cyphers. And this one takes a Chargers bounce inside the 15 all the way down to about the 9-yard line. So officially a 60-yard punt from Mike Cyphers. 7-3 Cleveland in front. Well, there's Josh Cribbs. Now, Richie felt like maybe he could have fielded that one and saved Cleveland some yardage here. Instead, they're pinned back in what turns out to be a 60-yard punt. First and 10 from the 9. Richardson trying to break a tackle. Gets to the 10. Cribbs, and you mentioned it, with the change in the kickoffs pushing him forward, Cribbs, for a guy who doesn't really play much offense, has been relegated to a non-factor.
Yeah, really, you don't see as much of him. No sooner we say that, he comes on the field, but yeah, he's never been a great receiver. I don't think that's really his makeup, but he is a big, powerful back. When I say back, receiver, slot, reverse runner, and you just want to try and find some creative ways to get him the ball in space. And with the rule change with the kickoff, he hasn't been as effective in the return game.
Cribbs now in his 8th season out of Penn State. This is Whedon, 2nd and 8, has got all day to throw. Excellent coverage down the field by that Chargers secondary. Tomorrow, 2 broke girls meet Cedric the Entertainer. Catch a new episode of the hit comedy tomorrow, only CBS. Well, what else can you say about these Cleveland fans? So loyal to this fan base, just 2 winning seasons since this Browns franchise was relaunched here in Cleveland. And they are braving the elements today.
And they love football. And you and I got a chance to meet Jimmy Haslam here before the broadcast, and he's excited. I mean, he knows that these fans will come out and support a football team, and he's excited about bringing a winner to Cleveland.
3rd and 8 incomplete, so the Browns will punt. Haslam's purchase from Randy Lerner finally officially closed this week. Price tag of over $1 billion. Lerner still owning 30% that he will give up over the next 4 years. But a new era dawning here in Cleveland. Mike Holmgren, as you take a look at Haslam here, doesn't look very pleased at the moment.
He's a very intense man. He's got a plan, and the plan involves putting together a team that can win not only for the short term, but for the long term.
Joe Banner taking over from Mike Holmgren, who will stay on through the end of the season here as the head personnel man. 50-yard punt, a return of 8 by Cribbs. So Jimmy Haslam looking on, the new Browns owner, his team up 7-3. Phillip Rivers, Robert Meacham onto the field, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield. 9:40 to play, 3rd quarter. This is Matthews. Matthews going nowhere. DeQuell Jackson and a host of Cleveland defenders on the tackle. James Michael Johnson and Joe Hayden also there.
I thought it was interesting. We sat down, Spiro, last night with Phillip Rivers, and he said that this is not a very complicated scheme we're going to see today from this Cleveland defense. They've got a handful of fronts and coverages. They mix in an occasional pressure every once in a while to keep you honest. That's really Dick Duran's philosophy. I mean, they want to keep it simple. They want to make you earn it, and that philosophy has kept them in a lot of games this season.
Rivers under center on 2nd and 9. Rivers, little sidearm delivery. It's incomplete. Now, Rivers was interesting. Rich, you were a student of the game. You appreciate the film study of Phillip Rivers. He actually went back to an 2008 game against Buffalo. Dick Duran, of course, was the head coach, all the way that far back to prepare for this game.
Yeah, he had extra time, obviously, with the bye week, but he really, as he studied Cleveland, he thought, this is a very vanilla group. And there's a good look at Dick Duran just to the right of the screen there. And so he said, I want to go back and check out when Dick Duran was in Buffalo when we played Buffalo in 2008. He said, you know what? Different rapper, different players, but a very similar scheme.
This will be 3rd and 9. Rivers has time. He's got a wide open man, and it's incomplete. And how did Meacham drop that pass?
Well, you see Sheldon Brown, they blitz, and then they turn loose Meacham on a safety, and that's the mismatch. A very poor angle by T.J. Ward, but Meacham has to be able to make this play.
That would have been a 51-yard touchdown. He had wide open real estate in front of him. And instead, Cyphers has to punt. Just a devastating play for the Chargers. 44-yard punt from Cyphers. Excellent kick as he pins him back inside the 10-yard line. Rivers and company will try to shake it off here in Cleveland. Rain and wind continue to factor into this one in Cleveland. Points at a premium as Brandon Weeden, who's been incomplete on his last 6 throws, back onto the field, making 7 straight incompletions. That time trying to find Gordon. But meantime, head still shaking on that San Diego sideline. Robert Meacham had what would have been a 51-yard touchdown go right through his fingertips.
Yeah, and he's been a bit of a disappointment, I think, this year for the Chargers. Spear, you and I were just talking about this during the break. I mean, just 12 catches coming into today's game. And look at those drop passes.
Well, one of the controversial decisions in 2nd and 10. Richardson trying to turn the corner, gets close to the first down marker, but A.J. Smith's decision not to bring back Vincent Jackson, who last week put up 216 yards for Tampa Bay. The thought was that the combination of Royal, who's out today, and Meacham would give him that same kind of production. It hasn't.
No, it really hasn't. And I think that, you think about that relationship between Phillip Rivers and Vincent Jackson, and now all of a sudden it's not the same. And even losing a guy like Sproles, which I couldn't understand. I mean, he goes down to New Orleans. It's just been Drew Brees' best buddy and such a productive player for them in that offense.
This is 3rd and 1. Richardson is dumped in the backfield. Excellent play. Cam Thomas, the 3rd-year end out of North Carolina, combining with Butler to dump him for a loss, and the Browns will punt.
A big stop by this San Diego front. Nice penetration by Butler. He's going to chase him to the sidelines, and Cam Thomas is right there to make the play. This defense has actually been very, very good against the run. Second coming into today's game, averages giving up just 71 yards a game on the ground. The big reason why is they're able to penetrate those gaps.
So John Pagano's defense holds. Hodges again, Weddle backpedaling, fields from his own 37. Weddle breaks a tackle. And is inside Cleveland territory, so Rivers with excellent field position on a nifty return by Weddle, 21 yards, maneuvering into Cleveland territory. Look, Rivers, 1st and 10, great field position inside Cleveland territory at the 43. Matthews inside the 40, close to the 35. Pickup of 8. They'll set up a 2nd and short. Wednesday in primetime, JB, Phil Simms, and Chris Collinsworth showcase America's favorite game with their own unique style. Inside the NFL, Wednesday on Showtime. Well, for as poorly as Phillip Rivers and his Chargers offense has looked, they're in good position here. Chargers have never led. This is 2nd and 2. That's LaRon McClain, the fullback. Needed to get to about the 33. Picks up 3 yards. And a San Diego first down.
Well, you just got the sense when we got to the stadium this morning, Spiro, was going to be this type of a game. The weather, the wind, the rain, and of course, you got slippery conditions, and a lot of the game's going to be played between the numbers. We've seen that in the passing game, and of course, we've seen an emphasis from both teams to try and run the ball with both of these backs.
Randy McMichael in motion. This is 1st and 10. Matthews picks up 3 yards. Tackle made by Ishmaeli Kitchen, a rookie out of Kent State.
Just watch how Philip Rivers is handling the football. He's got 2 hands on it. Now watch how he hands it off with 2 hands. You know, and you talk about making that a point of emphasis. Ball security. They've fumbled. They've turned it over. You know, with the balls slick as they are coming up wet off of that grass, he wants to make sure that it's not an issue in terms of the exchange between him and the running back, Ryan Matthews.
2nd and 7. Matthews approaching 70 yards on the ground. Down to the 26-yard line. Chargers needing to get to the 22 for the first down, a pick up there of 3.
I think Ryan Matthews has to get back to that Pro Bowl form from a year ago and, you know, stay healthy and just finish runs. I mean, he's certainly capable not only in the passing game but the running game. But you got to be able to stay on the field. The injuries have kind of taken their toll on him early in his career.
This is 3rd and 4 from the 26. Matthews cuts it back, has the first down. Inside the 20. Tackled by Usama Young, but not before Matthews picks up 7.
Well, when you're running the ball well and you're getting movement and you got issues with slick ball, that's a good play, a good call there by Norv Turner. The other thing to keep in mind is that he may have decided that they were in 4-down territory. That if they were going to run the ball there and pick up 3 and come up a half yard short, that they'd run it again on 4th down. I think you have to be aggressive. You've got a team that's 3-3, a team that's lost a little bit of their confidence. I think you've got to be aggressive with the play call.
Rivers on 1st and 10. They go end around. A similar play backfired for Cleveland end of the first quarter. Robert Meacham nowhere to go.
Did I just say be aggressive with the play call? Let me take that back. Keep running the football. Now,
lose 6.
Well, you got to be careful with these reverses and these end arounds and these type of things with the backs because, again, you're worried about the ball security. Nice play there by Jabal Sheard, getting upfield and forcing Meacham for a loss.
It's not easy to be a coach, is it?
No, it's easy to sit up here and second guess. Hey, they got to open the offense up. Hey, wait a minute.
Jabal Sheard on the defensive stop. This will be 2nd and 16. Chargers 6 straight runs now. Rivers to the air. Throwing end zone. Incomplete. Targeting Gates. Gates today only 1 reception. And now San Diego on 3rd and long with 3:21 left in the quarter.
Well, one thing Philip Rivers is not is gun shy. He's going to keep taking his chances down the field, and he loves this tight end. And just watch at the end here. Watch how many defenders. There's 4 defenders around the tight end. And Philip Rivers upset he can't squeeze that one in.
Rivers animated as he usually is. What does he have up his sleeve here on 3rd and 16? Need to get to the 8. Ronnie Brown eludes 1 tackler. He's well short of the marker. Crunched at the 13-yard line by the linebacker Craig Robertson after a pickup of 11.
That little angle route by Ronnie Brown has been very productive today for the Chargers. Now they come up a little bit short there, but they pick up a bunch on 3rd down.
Novak hit from 43 earlier. Big shoes to fill, Nate Kading. Most accurate kicker in NFL history. Guy who hit on 87% of his kicks career. Novak is good. So Nick Novak, lone source of offense so far, hitting from 31 yards out in the wind and rain here in Cleveland.
Kind of that bend and don't break philosophy from this Cleveland defense. They're playing a lot of 2-deep coverages. They're keeping things in front of them, and they're making the Chargers settle for field goals.
That one barely hooking through the uprights. And this one, anyone's game here. 2:33 to play, 3rd quarter. And now the question, can Brandon Weeden jumpstart this Cleveland offense? Weeden just 7 of 19 for 55 yards passing. Tuesday on CBS, meet the new sheriff who's taming Vegas. Dennis Quaid stars in TV's #1 new show, Vegas. Tuesday, only CBS. So there's Brandon Weeden, the 29-year-old rookie quarterback. Celebrated his birthday same day that they finally broke through, got a win here against Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. Last week went toe-to-toe with the #1 overall pick in the draft, Andrew Luck, a game that the Browns probably should have won. Had a different deal today, playing in very challenging conditions here at home. Cribbs taking on tacklers at the 28. Atari Bigby on the tackle after Cribbs returns at 24 yards.
I'd love to see that. You got your starting strong safety, Atari Bigby, running down there to cover a kick. I always say the more you can do, and the more you're willing to do to help your football team win. A lot of starters on defense running down covering kicks.
And you see how Weeden started. He's thrown 7 straight incompletions. Greg Little in motion. This is 1st and 10. Richardson buried in the backfield. It's now that San Diego run defense that's been so good starting to hold steady.
And it's been one of the problems for the Browns over the years. I mean, they need more offensive punch in the worst way. Essentially, they started over on offense with 4 rookie starters, and they had glaring needs at quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. And Pat Shurmur went out and addressed all of them in the draft. When you think about Trent Richardson, Brandon Weeden, Josh Gordon. And there are going to be growing pains when you're playing so many young players.
16 rookies, as Rich mentioned. That one nearly snatched out of midair. Right through the hands of Sean Phillips. What a huge play that would have been. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Well, the right tackle has to be more aggressive, and that's the problem right there. You've got a rookie, Mitchell Schwartz. You know it's a 3-step throw. You can't take such a big set. You've got to be able to attack the end man on the line of scrimmage, which is Phillips in this case. We're seeing a lot more of this in the National Football League, where these guys are batting balls. They read the quarterback's drops. They see he's going 3 steps. They know they can't get there, so instead of rushing, they jump up and bat balls down. J.J. Watt has been as good as that as anybody in the league this season.
3rd and 12. Weeden, 8 straight incompletions. Throwing off his back foot. He's got the first down to Little. Forced out of bounds by Atari Bigby as they pick up 22.
Wow, big chunk. And talk about explosive plays. That's the thing that has hurt this San Diego defense. And good protection here, but nice job sitting in there and letting this play develop. Josh Gordon's supposed to get out in front of him and hold that safety and allow Little to work in right between the corner and the safety.
For Little, just the 2nd reception. 1st and 10. The pitch to Richardson. Trying to find the seam. Richardson taking a couple of guys on a piggyback ride. Some more laundry on the field. Jarrett Johnson, the outside linebacker, on the tackle as Richardson picks up 4.
This is my first time seeing Trent Richardson in person, and just watching him, he is so much stronger.
Holding. Offense, number 15. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Greg Little's going to short motion in there, and he's trying to block the perimeter, and he winds up grabbing the linebacker, Phillips. You're going to see him. He's short motion, and he's trying to block Phillips. You see he's got that arm wrapped around him. He's just trying to grab him, and the officials aren't going to miss that.
Trent Richardson, 102 yards on the ground, his career high back in week 2 against the Bengals, 109. They'll need a lot more if they're going to win this game, as their lead has been whittled down to 1. 1st and 20. It's caught. Josh Gordon inside San Diego territory has the first down. Jarrett Johnson finally forced them out, but Gordon moves the chains with 26 yards.
And we've been talking about the problems that Cleveland has had generating big plays. Well, if you keep an eye on Josh Gordon, he's had a bunch of them here in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Just a little crossing route against zone coverage, and You think about touchdown catches of 62, 71, and 33 yards in the last 3 games alone. He's become the big play threat for the Cleveland Browns.
1st and 10. Waiting under pressure. No choice but to just throw it away. Donald Butler, the linebacker, coming right up the gut. And what a season Butler has had for the San Diego defense.
Well, we talked to the quarterback about this the other day. This is a bubble blitzing team, and what I mean by that is their bubble right there. And when you see that down safety, that's the key. And you've got to know it's coming. And you don't want to be thrown into it. You want to be thrown away from that pressure. And that just comes with experience of playing that position. They like to blitz over that guard, that vacant guard, and bring pressure. Two linebackers, as you see Coach Pagano there, they like to bring them to the same side.
Josh Cooper, we haven't mentioned today, in motion. It goes right through his hands, and both quarterbacks not being done any favors today by their wideouts.
And you just jinxed them. Pointed that out. You said, there goes Cooper. And he threw it to him. That's his buddy from Oklahoma State. He's got a lot of confidence in him. And he's the guy that he trusts is going to do the right thing. And Spiro, he has played pretty well for them over the last couple of weeks. Getting that opportunity, coming in here as a free agent. But boy, you've seen a number of drops today, really, from both teams.
I'll take the blame for that. There's Whedon. 21 catchable passes dropped. That leads the NFL.
You've got young players. You've got a lot of rookies playing wide receiver, and the game is just moving so fast for him right now.
Pat Shurmur will burn a timeout here. 21 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. So Josh Cooper, the young man, former college teammate, as Rich mentioned, at Oklahoma State, signed off the Browns practice squad 2 weeks ago. We'll be thinking about that one here. Break in the action gives us a chance to remind you that Saturday the Home Depot SEC on CBS delivers a day-night doubleheader. First, Ole Miss visits Georgia, and at primetime, a rematch of the national championship game, Alabama-LSU. It all starts with college football today. So huge 3rd and 10 play here. See what Pat Shurmur draws up. Cleveland at one point up 7-0. Trying to move the chains. Whedon just takes a knee. And now the Chargers' defensive pressure starting to put its impact on this game. Corey Liuget got there first.
Boy, he just comes clean right up the middle. I mean, I don't know, there's an assignment error there between the center and the guard, but Liuget comes untouched to Brandon Whedon.
Well, Liuget had a good rookie season. He felt he should have been better. Huge defensive play there. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Your score, Cleveland 7 and San Diego 6. A low-scoring game and some inclement weather here in Cleveland as we start the 4th quarter. Browns jumped out to a 7-0 lead. 2 Nick Novak field goals have cut it to 1 as we start the final 15 minutes. Reggie Hodges on a punt from his own 45. Eric Weddle standing at his own 10. Signals fair catch, and it's caught inside the 5. Jason Batamasi catches it after a 41-yard punt. What a play by Batamasi.
Well, he sees it the whole way. You get a good look at Batamasi, and then not only that, has the presence to know where he's at on the field. Now you pin back Philip Rivers in the San Diego offense.
Field position so critical in a game like this, as the wind and rain continue to be a huge factor. 1st and 10. There's the fullback, LaRon McClain. McClain, first year with the Chargers, last season with the Chiefs. Spent his first 4 seasons with the Ravens in Baltimore. You see the Chargers offense, they have not scored a touchdown now in 5+ quarters. And right now having to play right in front of the dog pound here at Cleveland Stadium. 2nd and 8. Matthews turns the corner. Takes on DeQuell Jackson. Also Usama Young. 7-yard pickup, very close to the first down marker. He's short by a yard.
You know, Ryan Matthews has had a lot of production when he runs behind LaRon McClain. LaRon McClain is a very good fullback, and that's one of the things I like to see more of from this San Diego offense. That man right there, he serves a purpose, and that is moving people at the point of attack.
Well, McClain had that one big year, over 1,000 yards from scrimmage in 08 with the Ravens. Came here to be a blocking lead back for Matthews. This is 3rd and 1. Matthews trying to lower his shoulder and get to it. Needed to get to about the 13.
Well, this is going to be very, very close, depending on the spot.
John Hughes making first contact for the Browns. Hughes starting today for the injured Ataba Rubin, who's down with that calf injury. And now they will bring in the Chains crew to measure as Pat Shurmur nervously looks on.
You know, it's interesting. You think about Pat Shurmur. We spent some time with him on Friday. They've got a new owner here. And I think these coaches are used to the uncertainty. They live each day with their feet on the cliff, as Pat said. And, you know, it's important. He knows that they've got to win. They've got to win a lot of games here the next 9 weeks in order to maybe keep their jobs. I think everybody who walks into this building is being evaluated by that gentleman right there. He wants to see steady improvement not only from the players, but from this football team in the second half of the season. I think Pat Shurmur knows what's at stake. Mike Holmgren on his way out. Joe Banner going to come in and be the president. And a lot of change here in Cleveland.
So they move the chains, 1st and 10. Matthews approaches the century mark. And just to get back to Shurmur, you wonder any head coach, Rich, would be able to succeed under the circumstances he's had to deal with last year. They basically gut the roster, trying to cut off some of the dead weight. 16 rookies and 27 players with 2 years experience or less.
Yeah, and I feel like they're getting better. They're just not quite getting the results they're hoping for. But I think they've got better talent this year, especially on offense. And I think it's starting to show up. And you got to be patient. But this league is not about patience anymore. It's about winning and winning now.
2nd and 5. Matthews again on the ground. DeQuell Jackson on the tackle. Matthews picks up 3.
And this business isn't always fair, and what you worry about if for some reason down the line they do make a coaching change. Now then you got the issue with Brandon Weeden. He just learned one system his first year. Now you bring in another head coach, another system, and now he's got to learn over again. You look at the progress or the lack of progress that we've seen from Sam Bradford the first 3 years. 3 different coordinators in 3 years. Alex Smith, Jason Campbell, Matt Castle. You need continuity and consistency around the quarterback.
It's a great point. This is 3rd and 3. Rivers airs it out. He's got his man and a first down. Malcolm Floyd close to the 30. They pick up 8. And slowly but surely this offense starting to gain some momentum.
Look at Phillip Rivers. He starts to his right. He goes through his progression there. High-low. Comes right back inside. Finds Malcolm Floyd. And that's just a nice job working through the progressions. Knowing where that quick answer throw is right over the ball.
High formation set. McClain in front of Matthews on 1st and 10. That's Jackie Battle, rather. Haven't seen much of Battle. Battle took some of the reps, started 2 games early in the season when Matthews was down with that broken clavicle.
Watch how low he gets. He actually gets below DeQuell Jackson, and the low man usually wins.
Battle, the 6th-year player, former collegiate player at Houston. First year with the Chargers after spending 5 years in Kansas City. Battle stays on the field, 2nd and 4. So clock continues to run. Cleveland 7, Chargers 6. And, Rich, you look at the Chargers. If they want to be serious about winning that AFC West, this is a game that they simply have to win.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they can't afford to fall behind Denver. They have to travel to Denver here in, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. And you look at the play selection here, and I'm not so sure that Phillip Rivers and Norv Turner haven't had a conversation. We're seeing a lot of runs on 1st and 2nd down. And you can hear the wind whipping through our broadcast booth and the rain coming down and making it very difficult for Phillip Rivers in the passing game.
3rd and 3. Rivers from the gun. Rivers caught. Again finds Floyd. Penalty marker thrown at the 41. Well, if the play stands, that was enough for the 1st down, but now the penalty.
Your penalty was away from the play. You may have defensive holding.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference. There's no foul. 2nd down.
So Rivers to Floyd for 11 yards. Shermer looks on. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, Pat Shermer saying, well, why'd they throw the flag? There was some pushing away from the play, and that's why they waved it off.
This will be a 10th play of the drive for the Chargers. And still on their own side of the field here. Rivers 1st and 10 gives to Matthews. Inside Cleveland territory. Tackle made by Ward after a pickup of 6.
They just keep running the ball behind that fullback, McClain. And then the other thing is, if you watch the Chargers, and they've got 2 tight ends in the game, a little bit of a key is they prefer to run away from Antonio Gates, and they'd rather run at Randy McMichael. Randy McMichael much better. He's a much better inline blocker than Antonio Gates.
Well, McMichael could very well be the best blocking tight end in the NFL. Matthews, I formation set, takes the handoff. 2nd and 4, he's going nowhere. Jaquay Parker buries him for a loss. -5 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down coming up.
You just don't do a good job sealing the edge, and you see Jaquay Parker. He's got leverage the whole time on Jared Gaither, and then you get the negative run. Now you get yourself backed up on 3rd down.
It's a Cleveland defense still without Phil Taylor, who finally returned to practice this week. A torn pectoral muscle during a training camp. It's a 3rd and 9 play. Markers whistle it dead. Movement pre-snap against the Chargers.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Jared Gaither. A little bit of movement there. You just see it. And this is really where you have to be able to keep your poise. You're struggling here a little bit. Not a lot of big plays. You're trailing 7-6. It's in the 4th quarter, and this is where you got to be able to make a play or two. You got to be able to finish a team out. And this has been a bit of an issue for San Diego over the last 2 games, finishing games in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 14. Rivers from the gun with under 8 minutes to play. Rivers under pressure. It's incomplete. Trying to find Meacham. And San Diego will punt. And that penalty on Gaither, backbreaking.
And he has to let this one go early. He needed another split second. He didn't have a time to set his feet. They don't do a good job picking up the stunt inside. And he's got to let that one go before Meacham's even out of the break.
So San Diego's drive, 12 plays, never crossed midfield. And now have to punt with Cyphers here. Down 1 with 7:49 left. Cribbs from his own 10. Once again lets it bounce, and it backfires again. As Cleveland pinned inside their own 5, a 54-yard punt. And again, a questionable decision by Cribbs. Timeout. Browns 7, Chargers 6. And right now, Brandon Weeden and this Browns offense had that nice opening drive, took a 7-0 lead. Desperately needs at least, Rich, to pick up some yards here and win the field position battle. This will be 1st and 10 from their own 3. Chris Ogbonnaya over center. Brad Childress has kept things very conservative, as you would expect in this kind of weather.
Yeah, I mean, they score in their opening possession, but then look at this. I mean, this is ugly. This is not a good formula for success. You've got 4 drives in there that resulted in 3 and outs, and they've not been able to get anything going. I mean, it's pretty much been run the ball on 1st and 2nd down with Trent Richardson and then try and convert a 3rd down, either by running it or throwing it. And you look at Brandon Whedon's numbers, just 9 of 24. They have not had a lot of success through the air.
There's Brad Childress, brought in by Pat Shurmur during the offseason, as they will be forced to burn a timeout here. It took a lot of time to get the play in, and Pat Shurmur obviously not happy. 6:51 to play in a 1-point game. 1-point lead for Cleveland, 6:51 to play. Pat Shurmur having to burn a timeout. They're down to just 1 left. They'll need some of those back. Up only 1. Alex Smith in motion. This is 2nd and 6. Whedon pressure right in his face, and it was nearly picked. Deflected at the line of scrimmage. And Atari Bigby nearly had a pick 6. Melvin Ingram coming with the pressure front side, got a hand on it.
Well, you look at the right side of the screen here, and they don't even block Melvin Ingram. And I think that's on the fullback, Alex Smith. Alex Smith has to bluff, at least get his hands down. And they're very fortunate that Atari Bigby didn't make that pick.
Timeout taken here by the Chargers. We've seen some confusion now on both sides. These are timeouts that they'll need later in the game. It's a 1-point Cleveland lead under 7 remaining. Let's have it up 7-6 here. And faced with a critical 3rd down, 3rd and 6 from just outside their own 5. There's Whedon with a screen for Richardson. Richardson out past the 1st down marker, close to the 20. Antoine Cason and Eric Weddle on a tackle, but not before Richardson moves the chains with a dozen.
Well, they have a mistake here defensively, and you can see he's just going to kick it wide to the back. Antoine Cason has to come off. And you can see at the end of this play, Weddle and a bunch of them not happy. Butler, Cason has to play the flat defender. In that case, it was the back out of the backfield.
Cason, the 50th man from Arizona. So 1st and 10 Cleveland here from the 18. Whedon finds Watson, breaks a tackle, another 1st down. Out past the 30, forced out of bounds by Weddle. Pick up a 14 and a Cleveland 1st down. Let's go to New York, get an update. Here's James Brown.
Shannon, we haven't heard the name Donald Driver too often.
Yes, but with Jordy Nelson and Greg Jennings out, Donald Driver was needed today. 4-yard touchdown, 21-12, Pack on top of the Jags.
Efficient Aaron Rodgers getting it done. Spiro and Rich.
See what the Packers have done. 15 of the last 16 games at home they've won. 1st and 10, Whedon under center. The pitch to Richardson. Trying to find the corner. Host of tacklers for the Chargers. Force him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. A pickup of 3. Reminder to stay tuned. The Subway postgame show from New York. JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher will have all the latest scores and highlights. All coming up on the Subway postgame show. Norv Turner, his Chargers 3-3 atop the AFC West. Tied with Peyton Manning in Denver. And a quick turnaround for the Chargers. They'll play Thursday against Kansas City, but first, trying to get this one here in Cleveland. 2nd and 6. Richardson over the century mark. And this now a career day for Richardson. 13 more. He's got a $118 on the ground.
And most of the big runs today, Spiro, have been right up the middle, right behind Alex Mack and that offensive line. Nice job. You see the guard pulls around, kicks out, and just look at this big back finish. That is a pretty sight if you're a Browns fan. They're tough tackles for these safeties, and that's what's happened today. You watch, a lot of these tackles have been made by Atari Bigby and Eric Weddle.
Richardson over 5 yards per rush. Gives the Browns a 1st and 10 from the 50. Richardson whacked Atari Bigby, the Chargers' most physical player in that secondary, lays this smack after a pickup of 5. Another update, JB and Shannon.
Russell Wilson continuing nicely.
Shown great poise this entire season. 16 yards. Zach Miller, one hand. They're in front. 24-21 over the Lions.
12 plays, 87 yards in that drive. Spiro and Rich.
JB, thanks. We talked about all the youngsters, 5 rookies at critical positions, I should say, on this Cleveland offense. But a very mature drive here, and right on cue, they fumble it. Montario Hardesty coming in to give Richardson a breather. Coughing it up here. Officials trying to sort through the pile. Browns have recovered. But this is a clock-eating drive, Rich, that Brandon Weeden is orchestrating here. Very impressive as they try to protect this 1-point lead. Hardesty, the man who recovers. And it will be 3rd and 6 right here.
Yeah, just watch right here at your screen. Eric Weddle's going to come in untouched, and he's the one that actually gets it out from Montario Hardesty. I don't think he ever feels the safety off the edge. Very fortunate to get that one back.
Hardesty replaced here. Chris Obanai on the field on 3rd and 6. Weeden play action. Rolls out. Everyone covered. Weeden takes a hard hit despite sliding at the 50. Browns want a penalty there. That was a hard hit, and Weeden shaken up. Boy, I'm shocked there was no marker thrown.
Well, he's just trying to find a spot, and you see Phillips come in, and he actually winds up running into Melvin Ingram.
One-point lead for Cleveland. Eric Weddle back to return, stands at his own 15-yard line. 2:46 to play as Phillip Rivers waits to take his offense back onto the field. Reggie Hodges. Weddle fumbles it inside the 15. And somehow the Chargers look like they've recovered.
And what you want to do in this situation, you see San Diego, they're trying to pull the Brown defenders off. And that's what you want to do, because anything can happen at the bottom of that pile. Eric Weddle very fortunate to get this one back. Got a good look at it. I think he just bounced off his chest. You see he's calling for the fair catch. I think this hits up a little bit high. Yep, right above his sternum. And it bounced right off his shoulder pad.
It was Buster Skrine yelling into his left ear.
Miss it. Noonan.
Well, it bothered him. And somehow Weddle able to fall on the football.
Very fortunate.
Oh, so how many times have we seen Phillip Rivers in this spot? 2:36 to play, down 1. And a game that the Chargers absolutely have to have. 1st and 10 for Rivers. Over the middle, floats it to Gates. Gates, the former Kent State star, back in Ohio today, 9 yards through the air.
We always want to start a 2-minute drive with a completion. And now Phillip looking at, he's got a 2-minute warning. He's also got the 1 timeout, but he's got to hustle. He's got a ways to go to get in field goal range.
12 play they give to Ronnie Brown. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. D'Qwell Jackson on the tackle. Final 2 minutes from Cleveland. Phillip Rivers down 1. Stay with us. Career long for Nick Novak, 53 yards. That makes the target line to 35, but you have to think in rain and wind, Norv Turner wants to get closer than that. Chargers just 1 timeout, down 1, 2 minutes remaining. Rivers too low. Intended receiver Ronnie Brown. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, it looked like Phillip Rivers just rushed it, but you know what? You could see him talking to the back. He didn't like it, so he might have just thrown that one away. You see, he's just trying to get the back on that little angle route. We've seen so much of it, and they've got some big chunks of yards throwing the ball to Ronnie Brown underneath those linebackers.
San Diego, 2 straight losses, blowing 2 double-digit leads in the second halves at New Orleans, and 13 days ago to the Broncos at home. 2nd and 16. This time completes to Brown, has the first down, forced out at the 45-yard line by Sheldon Brown after a pickup of 21.
Well, you've got to be able to tackle these backs in the open field, and a good look at Craig Robertson. He comes in nickel situations. Phillip Rivers has his eyes downfield. Now you got to make this tackle. Now you got to be able to break down. Ronnie Brown does a nice job avoiding the tackle and getting up the sidelines.
Craig Robertson had him right in his mitts. There's Novak. 1st and 10 from the 45. Chargers again, 1 timeout. This is Rivers. Again, Brown out of the backfield, trying to get out of bounds. Does. Perfect play for Norv Turner. 11 yards and another first down, and they stop the clock.
And Phillip Rivers has had a lot of success now. You just watch the back line, man-to-man on the linebacker, DeQuell Jackson. And that's where Phillip Rivers has been going with the ball. It's a safe throw. When you've got the weather and you've got a slick ball, you're much more comfortable working back inside to those backs against the linebackers.
1st and 10 from just inside the 45.
Now you can mix in a run or two here if you like, if you're Phillip Rivers.
Ryan Matthews, the lone setback. Rivers from the gun. Over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Rosario. Now, Rivers has been so good in these circumstances. 14 career game-winning drives. And that went a little bit too far in front.
And that, you look at Phillip Rivers, it's almost like his weight was on his back foot, and he's just trying to fit that one in there, just rather than just pulling the trigger. Can't steer it. You can't steer it in this weather. You got to be able to set your feet, make a good decision, and trust the throw.
1 timeout left for the Chargers. 2nd and 10. Rivers
can't take a sack.
Buying time, throws it away. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, the one thing he couldn't afford there is a sack. And this was close. I mean, I think he feels the pressure off of his edge. He steps up inside. He's got Frosty Rucker breathing down his throat. But here's a smart play. Just throw it away. Give yourself a chance on 3rd down.
Rucker, the Browns' big free agent signing. Applying the pressure. 3rd and 10. Browns' new owner, Jimmy Haslam, looking on. 90 seconds left. Chargers down to their final timeout.
Really 4-down territory, obviously, in this situation.
Browns coming. Rivers hit as he throws. Incomplete. Robertson on the coverage there. Intended receiver was Rosario. Jaquay Parker and Jabal Sheard applying the pressure. And it will be 4th and 10.
Well, they bring pressure. They block it up, but Phillip can't take the extra hits, and so he's got to get rid of it early. He's got one tight end clearing through the middle and another tight end on the crossing route. The other problem with getting sacked is you look at Phillip Rivers' arms. You get all that mud and you get the water, and now you're trying to get your towel and dry off your arm. And
comes down to this for San Diego. Play clock down to 2. 4th and 10. Rivers. Play whistled dead. Oh, they called a timeout, so Norv Turner barely able to get it off.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
And that will be the Chargers' final timeout with $1:24 to play. Down 1 on a 4th and 10 right here.
And I think it was a great decision by Norv Turner. I think they had a play called that he didn't like versus that coverage. And what you're guessing in 4th and 10, is it going to be pressure or are they going to drop and play coverage? And in that situation, I thought it was coverage, and they were probably anticipating pressure.
Now, points have been on a premium today, and in case you just joined us, Robert Meacham had what would have been a 51-yard touchdown was wide open. This was in the second half earlier. And that will be one that Meacham is thinking about for a long, long time.
Well, he can make up for it right here with a big catch on 4th and 10.
This once vaunted Chargers offense, no touchdowns now in over 5 quarters. Need 10 yards or else they're headed to a loss. 4th and 10.
Well, I don't think they're gonna pressure. I think they're gonna play coverage. 5-man pressure.
Rivers. Incomplete. Buster Skrine got a hand on it. And Cleveland takes over on downs.
Well, you'll see Buster Skrine. He's actually covering the back, and Philip Rivers is trying to fit this one in behind Buster Skrine to Malcolm Floyd, and he's able to get his left hand up and on it. And you see the frustration from Philip Rivers.
Well, Nick Novak was just hoping for a chance. Doesn't look like he'll get it. Chargers are out of timeouts with 1:20 to play, and that will just about do it. So the San Diego Chargers headed for a 3rd straight loss, and what a moment for Pat Shurmur. What has been such a trying season here. Cleveland will go to 2-6. Norv Turner's Chargers will fall to 3-4. Now a tough turnaround coming back Thursday for a date with Kansas City.
Yeah, and you think about how difficult it's been for the San Diego Chargers, and I think the pressure keeps getting turned up on this crew. Now they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, and it doesn't get any easier as they got Kansas City, they're at Tampa, and at Denver the next 3 weeks.
Brandon Weeden, a winning quarterback for just the 2nd time this season, as Cleveland goes to 2-6. And San Diego, 3 straight losses, now stands at 3-4. Norv Turner, Pat Shurmur embrace at midfield. And these fans that were braving the elements all day rewarded with a Cleveland win. And so your final score from Cleveland, the Browns 7 and San Diego 6. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. Our producer Ken Mack, director Jim Cornell.